Blue Lock Season 2 will go down in history as the greatest comeback of all time. There is not enough honey to be poured. I can't even categorize this video as glazing because everything I'm going to be speaking about is straight facts, because the finale of this season was peak fiction. The first half of the finale consists of episode 13. Because of the shocking quality of episode 14, I suspect people will downplay this episode a lot. I found it to be really good. Episode 13 has a great start with Isagi's aura not looking like he is someone who is lactose intolerant and decided to eat 2 large pizzas the night before. There are fan colorings of manga panels that stay true to the neon green aura that managed to make it work. One issue I had with season 2 was when they would fumble Isagi's aura because it was truly a lighting issue at times. Afterwards, the game continues with Sai entering the flow, and the rotating shot that accompanies it was fucking nuts. Now, before I continue, I need to mention that the soundtrack and voice acting in this series is not talked about enough, because even the moments where the animation is lacking were still hype. It's a testament to the writing quality of this arc, how all of the characters in this match believe that this is the moment to validate their existence, that this match is the equivalent of putting their lives on the line. As a result, the intense stakes were giving me goosebumps. For example, the OST that played during the scene where Rin analyzes Sai reminded me of when I was watching Akashi rampage the court using the Emperor Eye and Kuroko no Basket. The Shido and Aiku moments in this episode were done justice as well. The animation for Shido's demon wings into his shoot charge up were intense, and Aiku's gold attempt had some clean impact frames. Then moving on to the best part of episode 13 was Rin's Destroyer Flow awakening. This scene was adapted perfectly. My skin tensed up watching that. This moment is one of my favorite in all of Blue Lock. Rin literally said screw the power of friendship. Moments like this are what make Blue Lock so entertaining with how batshit insane it can get. This man Rin was about to crash out over having friends. You can feel the aura and rage often. So if you're someone that wants to improve their aura, check out Anime Express, a sponsor of today's video. Let's be real, a lot of anime merch sucks. Low quality and the designs are not moving the soul, but the Anime Express store has something for you. Hoodies, t-shirts, LED lamps, and black blades in stock filled with Mihawk's Conquerors hockey. The site even has some more casual options if you want a more low-key look. Personally, I think the coolest items in the catalog are the Toji compression shirt and the Blue Lock necklace. If you're someone putting that work in at the gym to attain that godly physique, then this is a no-brainer pickup. Show off those muscles like a true egoist should. Also, since I make sure to look out for my people, if you use the code TheLocalDub10, you get a 10% discount at checkout, so make sure to lock in at AnimeExpress.store to gain plus 500 aura. Now let's get back into the video. Now it is time to talk about the star of season 2, episode 14. This episode is hands down the greatest in Blue Lock history. No other episode comes close. Rin sold the opening scenes of this masterclass. Witnessing him destroy the under 20 team single-handedly was amazing. I love how the lighting is utilized in some of these scenes, especially Aiku analyzing Rin. The aura around his eye looked great as well. But the true reason for why episode 14 is the greatest in this series is when the game goes into additional time and the show transitions to a cinematic aspect ratio. The camera work during the last play was phenomenal. Like, this was movie quality Blue Lock right here. The second I saw the running animation for Shido, I knew greatness was coming. As Sai annihilates Isagi, Baro, and Nagi, with Karasu screaming for Blue Lock to stop Sai or else their dreams will end here. The desperation of Makoto Furukawa's voice really amplified the tension here. Furthermore, I'll keep saying it, but I love the use of atmosphere shifts in the anime. You have the snow falling in the background when Rin sets up to face off against Sai, symbolizing his memory of the day that ruined his life. I also like that in the Destroyer mode, Rin's voice echoes like a dynamic creature. The scene where Rin awakens as an egoist was beautifully directed. There are even some references to future manga moments, which were cool for manga fans. Then the greatest scene in all of Blue Lock history, done by Nihira Hajime, begins with the final matchup title card. I'm going to be honest, you can even make an argument for this being one of the best looking scenes in recent sports anime. My biggest critique of the Blue Lock anime is its desire to always try to make characters as detailed as possible to replicate the manga panels. I think simpler designs to produce smoother scenes is the direction the anime adaptation needs to take in the future for important goals. Thus, this scene is a step in the right direction. While Rin and Sai are facing off, there are some perspective shots from the ball's point of view, something I believe the anime should continue moving forward as it saves the animators time from doing animations of the characters running. There is a nice character acting moment during their face-off in the shot that showcases the difference in quality of hand grips. Sai's grip is calm without unnecessary movements, in contrast to Rin, who aggressively grabs Sai's jersey. Just another example of how different their personalities are when entering the flow state. Complemented by this scene having no soundtrack playing in the background, all you can hear is the stands cheering. I feel like I was there in the stadium. Continuing on the topic of character acting, during the slow motion build up to Isagi's direct shot, shot, you can see Fukaku slowly adjusting his body while bending his knees to prepare to jump and attempt to block the shot. Then there's Aiku falling down in disbelief upon Isagi's arrival into a kick shot from multiple perspectives and angles to emphasize the weight of it. I believe that this is mandatory for any super goal in Blue Lock moving forward. Also, the camera angle from inside the goal net was genius. All of these elements made the whole sequence feel cinematic, climaxing with Isagi's goal celebration, where all you can hear is his breath as the hero of Blue Lock, Isagi Yoichi, is born, alongside the background blur to showcase how the entire world revolves around him in this moment. With all this leading up to the cathartic moment of the announcer screaming the words goal, then transitioning to shots around the stadium including the little boy, the girl that wasn't initially interested in the match, and the co-workers that felt connected to the Blue Lock team. Seeing the reactions of all the characters that were watching the match that went through their own development arcs are just little details that are integral towards feeling the impact of this moment. Nihiro Hajime, you have outdone yourself. The hype didn't stop there, as the interview scene was adapted perfectly, having Isagi's name chanted in the crowd alongside a flashback of his journey leading up to the Under 20 World Cup declaration was genius. You can tell that the team behind this anime loves the series. The end credit scene did not fumble either. They played the spatial awareness OST that I love so much to set up the Neo Igua's League arc with the reveal of my glorious kings Kunigami and Kaiser. Overall, a fantastic episode. Now, I am overjoyed with how fantastic the last two episodes were. However, the positive reception has resulted in some horrendous takes occurring that I believe need discussing. Anime fans have made me hate the word budget, because when the term is used when discussing the production of an adaptation, I am subjected to the most brain dead takes I've heard in my life, which isn't too surprising, as this is the same fandom that spreaded an unhealthy amount of misinformation throughout the release of season 2. There are lots of videos online including interviews from animators that have worked on this season. Somehow people began running with the agenda that Blue Lock season 2 was animated by a single individual, legitimately one of the dumbest statements I've heard from the anime community. To this day, I still see people online saying the studio wasted all of their budget for this scene, unlimited budget works, or when animators forgot their budget. Now, you can downplay this by claiming that people only say these statements as jokes, but on this channel I make sure to cut the bullshit, so let's be honest with ourselves. The majority of anime fans actually think this way. There are people that genuinely believe that a larger budget guarantees great quality 100% of the time. For example, the image currently on the screen is a perfect representation towards how most anime fans think budgets work. I don't understand how this misconception has been able to survive as technology has advanced. There are well done YouTube videos and articles online that covers these topics, and with the bare minimum amount of research, you would be able to come to the conclusion that throwing more money at a project doesn't magically solve everything. If this were the case, then every Marvel movie should have visuals on the level of a James Cameron movie, but that's clearly not the case. Literally, all you have to do is think about these situations for more than 5 minutes, and you should be able to come to the conclusion that the topic of productions is more nuanced than just money equals more quality, because this is also the same fandom that was preaching for the animators at 8-Bit Studio to be replaced when none of the issues with season 2 are their fault. The executives at Bandai Namco Filmworks and Kodansha are the ones to blame, who clearly gave the adaptation team a horrible deadline. To be quite honest, we should all have seen this coming back when season 1 released. Even though I enjoy aspects of season 1, it was fairly obvious that the adaptation was a soulless cash grab that took advantage of the World Cup hype. Season 1 was released in 2022, and then the Nagi movie released this year alongside season 2 6 months later. This is the level of greed that is talked about in the Bible. Now, I hope that season 3 will be released in 2027, but with the next World Cup being scheduled for the 2026 year, I just know that Bandai and Kodansha will want to capitalize on the hype. I am praying that we don't get a repeat of season 2. If you told me that Blue Lock was going to be the new mascot for horrible adaptations 2 years ago, I would have called you a hater. Fast forward 2 years later, and the Blue Lock anime is going band for band with 7 Deadly Sins for how bad an adaptation can ruin a series PR. Honestly, the situation might be universal karma for all the slander. I used to give 7 Deadly Sins back in the day, but if you take a moment to sit back and really think about it, 7 Deadly Sins deserved all the hate it received over the years. By the way, I'm not just talking about the animation. The writing in that series is, and I'm going to say this in the most blunt way possible, utter dog shit, pure horse shit past season 1. It's like reading a series by Aka, and we all know what happens when Aka touches the pen. God, Oshinoko's ending was horrendous. So when a series that already stinks in the writing department receives a poor adaptation, the universe isn't really suffering in the grand scheme of things, which is why Blue Lock season 2 being the Record of Ragnarok clone that it is hurts so much. The animators should be allowed the time to showcase their love for this series to its fullest potential, which is why even with how great the finale was, I still can't confidently say that Blue Lock Lock Season 2 is a good product overall. Regardless, I still want to take a moment to thank everyone that worked on this season of Blue Lock, because even when dealt a horrible hand, the team managed to come through and create an enjoyable season despite the flaws, and an episode that was pure cinema. Before ending this video, I also want to thank my channel member NQG420 for supporting the channel. I will make sure to get the Full Metal Alchemist video out for you in the coming weeks. I am almost done reading the series and it has been a blast. Now, if you're someone that stuck around to the end of the video, the honey will be poured on you. If you want to talk to me about anime related topics, check out my Discord server and follow me on Twitter. Also consider becoming a channel member, another way to support me, and I support you back with shoutouts and videos, early access to new uploads, custom emotes, and members only content depending on what level of membership you decide to choose. On this channel, I discuss whether something deserves a W or an L, so if you're someone that enjoys content that keeps it real, consider subscribing to change this channel from local to global. Now, I gotta get back in the kitchen to cook. Peace.